The New York Giants are the first team to make their new GM selection of the offseason as they opt to go with Bills assistant GM Shoen for their new GM position. And, now he is one of the toughest tasks at hand. I've talked a couple times about who I think or what direction I think the Giants might go in. But now having a GM, there's definitely some, new stories, new things that come out about it. And the first one, obviously, people are talking about is, obviously, we know the Giants need to get a head coach. That's what this video is going to be about. And the first person that I think everyone thinks Shoen is linked to is Brian Daboll, who's currently the Bills offensive coordinator, obviously, together in Buffalo for a few years now. And, Brian Daboll is getting a lot of interest. A lot of people are thinking that he's going to be the next, big coaching candidate or one of the big coaching candidates of many this offseason, it seems like. So, could that link between the two, could the connection between the two ultimately lead to the Giants hiring Brian Daboll as their new head coach? Another one that's been heavily linked is the first person that the Giants have decided to contact for their new head coach position is Brian Flores. So basically, in my opinion, I think those are the two choices that the Giants are going to have to decide between. I think if I don't know the relationship, obviously this is all speculation, but when you spend time together, if Shoen really thinks that Brian Daboll is a good coach, I would not be surprised. If they have a good relationship, that all obviously matters when it comes down to it. But if they have a good relationship, it's always good to have that good working relationship and starting a new journey that's going to be very tough. Let's be honest. Or because he's a new GM, there's a lot of teams that don't feel comfortable hiring a new head coach and a new GM at the same time. They would prefer to have one of them experienced. So a lot of people are linking maybe or the potential Brian Flores hiring. Apparently he has a lot of interest in the Giants. I don't know how true that is. It seems very weird. I don't know if there would be that many coaches who have a lot of interest in a certain team, such as the Giants, when they've been struggling and they're maybe one of the toughest situations in the entire NFL. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with it. Joe is going to have to make, I feel like weird saying that, but he's going to have to make one of the toughest decisions of his career, definitely up to the point. I mean, now you're running your own organization. You're running the New York Giants, one of the most, storied franchises, one of the most historic franchises in the league. They definitely don't have their name, like the Packers, for example. Their name is held to a much higher regard than the New York Giants due to success of late. But running historic franchises is a lot, and now we're gonna have to see what his first decision is. Personally, I think Brian Flores. I've made a couple videos about it. I had Miami Dolphins fans attack me, which I thought was hysterical. Like, I don't really, I understand where they're coming from and stuff. It was funny. But I think Brian Flores is a really good coach personally. I think he was able to flip around the Dolphins, and he had a really tough task when he first arrived in Miami. Obviously, he was the successor to Adam Gase. And Adam Gase just leaves his teams in absolute turmoil. So Brian Flores did a really tough job and turned it around pretty quickly. Similar to what the Giants are looking like right now, not that much talent, bad contracts. So a very similar situation, to be honest. So they could definitely, use that. He'd be the veteran presence. And then Brian Daboll, he would be a guy that, has a lot of creativity. People really like the way he was able to, turn Josh Allen into the quarterback he's become. The Giants would obviously need to get a prospect if that's what they're thinking. That's what a lot of people are saying Brian Daboll is. He's going to be a good coach that's going to be able to raise a young quarterback. And if the Giants, and Shoen believe that, Daniel Jones is maybe the future, maybe that's what you want to do. It's going to be a lot of tough decisions that we're going to see coming over the next few weeks. But basically this hiring, I think, is really good for the Giants. The Giants, were the first team to get their first choice, basically. No other team that's looking for a GM has made their hiring yet. So when you're the first team to get the hire, you get your first choice. It doesn't allow, you have to go with your second or third choice. And in a very competitive market, when there's only 32 GM jobs, you don't want to have to go with your second choice. You want to go with the person you feel the most comfortable with. And ultimately, the Giants decided that was Shoen, and they wanted to get him as soon as possible. And now here we are. So let me get on in the comments, guys. Who do you think is going to be the Giants head coach next year? Do you think they're going to opt to go with a veteran presence, a rookie coach, maybe someone completely left field? Like, apparently the Texans are very interested in Josh McCown. So that's crazy. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel so much, guys, and enjoy the games this weekend.